Hey everybody, how's it going? I am just popping here really quick to just have a quick chat about money and entities. And what does money have to do with entities anyway, right? But there's some cool stuff. Um, and I have a money and entities call coming up in about an hour and a half from now. And I know that there's so many people out there who love to just do the last minute thing. So I thought I would jump here and invite you. Money and entities is a really interesting combination that it's not necessarily logical, but they are tied together in some really interesting ways. And this intro call coming up is a specialty of Talk to the Entities, which is an Access Consciousness class. And when I when I was considering becoming a Talk to the Entities facilitator, it takes quite a number of trainings to be able to do so, which is quite an investment. And I remember when I first got that, like, ooh, I'd like to do that. Um, I looked at all the prerequisites and everything that I would have to invest in, and it was right during the lockdown when my business was basically closed because it wasn't essential. I think jewelry is essential, but hey. um, and so I looked at these prereqs and I looked at how much it was going to be, and I looked at the money that was coming in or the lack of money that was coming in from my business. And I was like, wow, maybe I shouldn't do it right now, you know? And while while everything was on lockdown, I was doing more access classes and expanding that business. And as soon as I decided that I couldn't afford to do the Talk to the Entities certified facilitator training, everything sort of stopped in my world. Like everything that was growing went hurt. And a couple of months went by. I was like, what did I decide? What's going on? Like, because when things are moving and flowing, it's never going to be um, a normal flow, but there will be ebbs and flows. And I realized that I had decided that I couldn't afford that training. And um, and I was like, okay, pock and pod that. So number one tip, don't tell yourself you can't afford something because because it'll just stop all your money flows and to make yourself right. So that's one thing. But then I had just finished communicating with the spirit and giving somebody a message. It was just this little side thing. And months later, and I was driving home and I was like, wow, this was so easy. Like I gave this guy a message from his father who had crossed over, and all of a sudden all this money came into my lap. And I realized that there's a huge contribution that including the spirit world can be into your life. And it doesn't have to look like being a medium and giving messages to people, although it can, but there's just so much that opens up when you start to include the spirit world and engage with them. And it's also an amazingly dynamic way to increase your receiving. So, just an invitation if you would like to choose. As I said, coming up in, well, now it's an hour and 15 minutes. You can go to my website, julietootenenergy.com. It's on the events page. Get yourself a ticket. You'll get the Zoom. And let's open up receiving magically with including entities, entities and money. How does it get better than this?